Okay, Miss Mums and Dads, welcome to Cridler Gaming. Today we are going to show you how to beat Forza Horizon 5. Now, Forza Horizon 5 is a free game from the Game Pass if you're signed up to that, and it's well worth playing if you're into racing games, and even if you just want a bit of a light-hearted entertainment. Some fabulous looking cars in the game, and there's so much more to do. It's Forza Horizon, so it's like a storyboard and lots of little sort of games, and not just race. It's more of a intelligent, sort of multi-purpose racing game, really, if that's one thing to say. It's based in Mexico. You've got all the beautiful scenery. Some of the graphics are absolutely fabulous. The cars are absolutely lovely to look at. They're very realistic. The whole purpose of Cridler Gaming is to help you game. And what we're going to show you today is how to get into Forza and get up the leaderboard if that's what you want to do. There's certain tips and tricks that I can show you to sort of help improve the speed of how you play the game, and just learning from things that we've done in the past. So, fabulous game, it's free. A couple of add-ons that you might want to purchase. If you get into the game and start enjoying it, then there's no harm in spending a couple of quid to increase your enjoyment of the game. So let's get on with it. Now, one thing that is slightly annoying about the game is when you play it for the very first time, there's a bit of a tutorial, there's an event. It does take about 25-30 minutes to actually start the game in earnest. So don't just click it on and think, alright, I'm going to race a race. Just, the first time you play, give yourself half an hour just to get into the game, really. It does help, but it is a bit frustrating. You can't just plug and play, but that's only for your very first go. Once you're on the main map, then you're on the main map. So the way the lobby sort of set out is that you have your seasons and series and lots of little challenges. So it gives you sort of challenges where you get points for doing certain things, and when you've got enough points for doing these challenges, you unlock certain cars and stuff like that. So where we saw the lobby first, that's your festive playlist that gives you all that sort of stuff. The second main element to the game are things called accolades. Now, if you look in the very top right corner of the screen, you can see we've got 838,000 accolades, which puts us in the top 10,000 players. I think about 16 million are playing at the moment, so that's top 0.01%. So we have got plenty of them, so hopefully we can pass some advice on. I'm just going to click on the accolades. I do actually have one to collect. So what have I done? Own 450 unique cars. Nice. So each of these sort of quests here, if you click between them, you then got tasks to do, and each task has a score. That's 750. You can see bottom left, 750 on there. You can actually see it on the icon because it's not been complete on the bottom right. And if you work your way through these, eventually you get enough points to join what's called the Hall of Fame. And when you're in the Hall of Fame, it opens up more tasks and challenges, and you can start seeing yourself go up this leaderboard and trying to become the best Forza player that there is. We've still got a couple of hundred still to do. Some you can't do because they haven't, you have to complete so many challenges, and the challenges haven't been set yet. But the majority of you can do pretty much straight away. The key thing when you start off is to start building your credit bank, and that way you can buy better cars, and the better cars you buy, the faster you can go. The faster you go, the more money you win, and then you get better cars. A bit of a tycoon type thing to start with. So the best car in the game, or the fastest car at least, is the Jesco. So if I tab over to the cars here and click the change car, I'm just going to press sort, which is X on the Xbox, and do value. Now, it's not the most expensive car, but it is definitely the quickest. It's in the 2.5 million range, and mine is nice and pink, like some stuff is good. Cridler Gaming's creator. So I've got my pink Jesco 2020. It's a Koenigsegg car, easy for me to say, but if we get into this one here, if you go to tune your cars, you can get an X999 of this, and it is 305 miles an hour. I think it's the fastest we've gone, as is nice and pink, but it does fly. We're just on this little road here. But this is definitely the fastest car in the game, and there's so many challenges where you've got to go from point A to point B. I'm just going to take off here, 200 odd miles an hour without even any bother. This car on the motorway you can get at, we've got for 305 is our fastest on it. The reason I'm explaining why and the best is the fastest car is when we look at the accolades a bit later, you'll see, oh, there's a race here, or oh, I've got to do this really quickly. Anything that needs something fast to happen in, doesn't really matter what terrain, this car gets you there quickest. In certain situations, other cars are best to use. We'll go through that a bit later. But I say, the quests like get from point A to point B in 2 minutes, even over the desert. This car, just because it's so fast off, the start. Then there. If you've got a faster car or a better car, one you think is going to, whack it in the comments. We're all here to help each other. So I just love this one, and I've maxed out the skills on it, so the skill points just come so easy. One of the other challenges is to earn so many skill points, and this is the car that I did them all in. Now the Jesko is 3 million odd credits, and you might not have 3 million odd credits to start with, so there is a way to get this car easier. Now if we go onto the map, and the map looks very cluttered, but I do like, if you press RB on the Xbox, you can actually sort and turn things off. Now I'm just going to go down to stories. So this is tip number 1 pretty much, and that is get a Jesko. And the easiest way to get a Jesko, if you don't have the money, is to complete one of the stories. So I'll go to the stories. If we go over here somewhere, I think it's V10. So this one here on the coast, you might have to do a few races and stuff to unlock it, but when this is unlocked, complete this test driver. So if I click on it here, just go over to it. To start with, you have to drive around to the various points, but we'll come on to that later as well. But if I go on to a V10, so the reason I explain this is this story, the V10, if you get 3 stars on every quest, you get a Jesko. So that is why we're looking at it. So if you go on to replay here, you can see there's not that many challenges. It looks a bit daunting when it says scene 117, but there's not. There's 12 challenges. In fact, you don't even need every challenge on 3 stars, because there is a part A and a part B, I'm guessing. See, because there's an A and B there, those 5 count out of 3. So you can get all bar 3 stars to get the Jesko. Just work your way through these, getting the 3 stars wherever you can. There are a couple of tricks to it. One, you're racing down the volcano. You don't have, there's no checkpoints, so just fly off and you can easily win that one. And another one, you're racing another player. There's a left turn under where all the metal sort of railway track is. You can actually cut the corner because there's no checkpoint on it. If he's ahead of you, cut that corner, there's a little house there, and then that takes you past him usually, because he's quite a good driver. That will take you past him and through to the finish. So they're the 2 tricks, but with those you can work your way through here, and when you get to the end you get a Jesko. And I don't know if I can prove that, but if I go onto the accolades and onto the stories, the V10 story is over here. Now this here, you can see here, complete it, 3 stars in all the chapters, which isn't actually true, because you can miss a couple, as we saw. You get 1,000 accolade points and the Jesko. Then all you need to do then is go on to the tune-ups and tune it to X999. So tune-ups is cars, tune car, get in it, go into tune cars, and then you can choose whichever one you like. And we've got the X99 here. It says 303.2 mile an hour, that one. Maybe we went downhill a little bit, but we have got it to 305, 303.5. Just going on speed here, so I'll just take that one. You might have to pay a bit of money to upgrade it. If you don't have it, then save up and then you can. Oh, 5,000, it's not the end of the world. So why the Jesko? You've got loads of challenges like drive from El Arco de Cabo San Lucas, I do apologise for the pronunciation, to El Estadio Horizon in under 3 minutes. That is so much easier than Jesko. You pin it, go to the one place, it will take you there, because sometimes you have to make sure you're in the right starting place, and then drive to, press A on the maps to do a route, and then follow the route, or just completely go off road and just head straight for it. The second way usually works the best in the Jesko. Even if you hit a tree, even if you total a car, it is so quick that it gets you there easy. There was only one challenge out of all of these, drive from A to B, that we didn't do first time in the Jesko, and that was from top of the volcano to a little stone monument. It took a couple of goes for that one, but other than that, we've smashed these so easy, and there's a lot of points at stake in these. So Jesko does that, does the time trials, does the trailblazers, does the speed traps, most of the speed zones. Some of them are a little bit rough terrain, so you need a different car. The other car I like, if you do not like the Jesko because it's got no traction or it's flying off the road or something, is a nice simple little car. I'm just going to change it. It's a Ford. I used to actually own one of these cars. Well, not this spec, but this car. But if you go over to Ford and go across to the right here, you'll see the Racing Puma. So I'm not sure how, or 500,000, you know, well worth it. Lovely little car. The only downside to this car is its top speed. Its top speed is only about 160 mile an hour, but if you're doing a little task that doesn't need you to get to 160 mile an hour, this is the best car. So just go for fast races. This car for getting around corners, it pretty much does exactly what you need when you need it. There are a few drag challenges as well. For that, best to use a drag car, and any of them are fine. If you look at, if you just go to cars, change car. So for the drag ones, you can see there is actually a section called Formula Drift. Any of these cars in a drag race or the drag sort of zones, use these. You can freestyle them easy. A couple of them are a little bit boring because they're a bit long, but getting one of these. So they're the three main cars that you need. You only need one of them. So this Ford Racing Puma, 500,000, just goes 3 million, but if you do the V10 race, then you'll get it for free. So that is the cars and sort of way to work your way through the challenges. Another massive tip is, let me just go onto the map. So tip 2 really is buy the houses when you can afford them. The reason you do this is that there's little bonuses it gives you. One gives you a wheel spin every day. One gives you skill songs, which doubles your skill points, which you need for some of the challenges. Some give you super wheel spins when you buy it. Some you can do fast travel. For example, this one here, active perk, fast travel. Let's just click on a few more. Skill songs, buying that one. It tells you what they are, so you know what to do. Double points. If you've only got so much money, you can prioritise. That's one of the basic houses at the start with no perk. Horizon promo, photograph your collections, a lot of accolade points behind that, and I will show you a trick to that shortly. So this one here is the big one. It's a free wheel spin every day, and sometimes you get a £3 million car or credit car, sometimes you get 3,000 credits. But every little helps. Once you're well into the game, the actual credit side of it doesn't really matter. I've bought and sold cars for 20 million. There is a tax for selling cars, so that cost me like 3 million in the process. But for one of the accolades, it's buy a 20 million car from auction, so you need 20 million for that. But it's easy enough when you get into the game. So tip 1, get the Jesco. Tip 2, buy the houses. Tip 3, and it's a time saver really, is that when you go to some of these challenges, let's say, it's not going to be so easy because I've actually done them. If I go to cross-country racing, I'm just picking one at random here. If you're looking to work your way through this, start at the right and go left. The reason I say that is that some of these challenges is win a race in a certain car. But you'll notice that way is win the race. So if you win the race in a certain car, you do both accolades at the same time. So if you start on the right and work your way left, it sort of completes the board ahead of you. So by the time you get about 3/4 of the way, you've done most of them. So that's a massive tip. Start on the right and work your way to the left, and that pretty much works for all of these here, to be honest. Even the speed traps, you've got complete a speed trap in a Jesco, but they're not on towards the left. You've got complete that speed trap. Now of course you need to get the cars for some of them, but if you've got the car, then you know you can do 2 things at the same time, so that just speeds up getting up the Hall of Fame, getting more credits, etc, etc. One other tip, and it does cost £2.50 or whatever, pint of beer, fish and chips, whatever, and that is to unlock the treasure chest. The reason I say that is it tells you where all these boards are. The XP boards and the fast travel boards. Now when you've bought the fast travel house, you can just travel anywhere on the map in a second. It costs you a bit of money to start with, but the more of these boards you unlock, the cheaper it gets. And if you unlock all of the boards, then it's free and you can just click anywhere you like. So if you're doing the Horizon events, or if you want to get from one race to another quickly, you just go on it there and then press X and you fast travel there, and it's free. You can see next to the X down the bottom left hand side of the screen, you can see fast travel to 0 credits, so it's not going to cost me anything. Now there is another video, there's 2 boards that are tricky to find or get. We've done a video on how to get them, so I'll put it there, whichever side it is, just to show you how to do it. But they are pretty much easy. Most of them you just need to find them. But if you buy the treasure map, then you get them, and you also get where the barns are as well. And if you've got the barns, they give you cars. There's a 50 million credit car in one of the barns. unfortunately you can't sell it. So I'm just going to get back in my Jesco. Right, the reason I've got in my Jesco is because skill points, that big score there, 4,075 at the top of your screen, is a key thing in this game. So if you go onto the map, you can see just below the motorway there's these solar panels, and I just like to sort of, you know, if I need a load of skill points and there's a skill song on, I come here, fast travel to here, and I just smash everything up here, and then I drive around a bit, then I turn around and I go back and smash it, and as long as you're quick enough, you can easily rack up 2 million. It's 200, in a skill song it's 200,000 times 10. You know, and you can do it. All you got to do is just watch out for that. There is a building in here that you want to avoid, but you know, all these wreckage points. Keep your thing ticking over long enough to get your skill points right through the roof. I have maxed out the car mastery of this, which does help on the skill points. But like a tycoon, the more skill points you get, the more masteries you can unlock, and the more skill points you can get, etc. So I'm just going to leave that now, and that's going to give me 40,000 nearly, without even trying 40,000 points, which is pretty much a whole skill point. So the skill point is when it goes all the way around to the end, you get one. And it's about 65 to 70, 78, depending on the car you are, to unlock the full mastery, but you don't have to unlock it all. Right, and the last tip of the game really is around the photography of the game. You don't really go in much to look at photographs, but there are a lot of points to be had. So we're just going to accolades here, and then into the creative section over here on the right hand side, and a page across to photo. Lots of things in here, lots of points to be had. Now one of them is just taking photos of cars, 50 cars, 100 cars, 150 cars, and you only get 50 accolade points for each one, but there's loads of things to unlock: super wheel spins, cars. So there is a quick way to photograph the cars. I think we're on nearly 400, so we've done 325. No, we've done 300. We're on 335, and we haven't really started much. So the way to do this is just to do it as part of the game. Once you've unlocked that house, which opens up the photography accolades, then I'll show you the trick on how to get all these photographed, really as part of the game, so it's not costing you any time or effort at all. So I'm just going to jump into a completely random car now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What have we got? A Corvette. Anyway, so now I'm just going to go and start a race. Any race will do. Let's pick one. I don't know, this one here. That looks good. Right. Just going to fast travel to it. So if you do what we're going to do here, every time you do a race, you'll easily photograph 300 cars before you know it. So I'm going to go into the race. So I've got to do this race as part of a challenge or part of the festival thing, so I'm going to have to do it anyway. I'll go in the car I picked. Any car will do, as you'll see. Or any new car, I should say. So I don't know if I've used this Corvette on this trick. So make sure rewind is on. Oh, and before we carry on, doesn't matter what difficulty you set. If you're struggling in races, turn your difficulty down. Put your difficulty down to, you know, I'm on average at the moment. I'm normally on highly skilled, but you know, if you need to win a race, turn it down to tourist or new racer. It doesn't matter. You'll lose a few credits, you know, but you know, use the game. It's not cheating or whatever to change the setting. You know, I have it on average and medium. They're my two. Some challenges you have to win on highly skilled, some you have to win on unbeatable. I've only done one on unbeatable, but I'm getting there. Anyway, you're starting the race, so I'm going to start the race. And I'm going to put my finger down on the accelerator, so I'm going to start off. Press up. Now, I'm in photo mode now. So again, if you just hold down the accelerator, it takes you up. Then just reverse back a little bit by pressing back. Now I've got all the cars in the race, and then press A. I've already done this car, but if you haven't done this race before, you'll get all of these cars. 10, 11 cars, 5 cars, 3 cars, 1 car, 4 cars. I've done so many races that it's hard to show you a race which I'll get, like it goes ping, 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 and you can get so many cars in one go. If you do it as part of the race, then it's no extra, you know, as long as you've got rewind on, because what I'm going to do now is I press back a lot, and when I exit, you can either hold down accelerate just to carry on, but sometimes it messes up a bit. If it messes up a bit, then you just hit Y to rewind, and then you just start in the race as normal, but you've taken 10 photographs. and if you get to 300 photographs, that's super wheel spins, credits, accolades, you name. But anyway, quickly going over to Hall of Fame. So go to the world map, you'll see the main festival thing here, this big H. So I don't need to drive there, I just click and go for free. Hall of Fame. So if you do the accolades, eventually you open at the Hall of Fame. That gives you more events, and some of the story modes won't let you play them until you're in the Hall of Fame. I don't actually know how many accolades you need to be in the Hall of Fame, but looking on it here, if I press X to change the filter, where am I? Still in the top 10,000, 9742, but at a 16.2 million. So hopefully the tips will help you get up here with us. Oh, one thing I found is sometimes next to your rating numbers a little star with a number by it. That's because it's like a prestige level. When you get to level 200, it starts you back on level 1. So I'm technically on level 335. So when you get to 200, you go back to the beginning, but you get a little crown with a little star with a 1 next to it. And I'm guessing when I get to level 200 or 250 or 300 the second time round, I'll prestige again and have a little 2 next to it. I've seen people with little 4 stars next to it, so they must have played really well. Anyway, I hope this video has helped you enjoy Forza Horizon, and I hope it gets you to where you want to be quicker. If you've got any questions, please put it in the comments down below. Any comments I'll happily answer as best I can. So I say I'm only a highly skilled driver at the best of days, maybe above average is probably the best as a rating I should be on. But anyway, enjoy, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.